Welcome to the Coach Mack Show. Coach, we had Atkinson County last Friday night. Big game. Usually our run game dominates, but this time the passing game kind of took over after a good solid start with Andrew Lee.
Well, the very first offensive play of the game, Andrew Lee took it, I think, over 50 yards, almost 60 yards for a touchdown. The very first play of the game. It's the second time he's done that. But then after that point, Atkinson County really shut us down, and really we had no choice but to throw it. Probably even should have threw it more, to be honest with you. There was opportunities, going back to look at the film, there was all kinds of opportunities in the passing game. Probably should have took more advantage of that than we did. From the rest of the game, after that run of over 50 yards, I know it was, after that run, we were held only 86 total yards in the game, and that's on 29 carries. That's about as bad as I can ever remember us running the football. They really did a great job up front. Their defensive line whipped our offensive line. Their linebackers did a great job. I think that their whole defense, Atkinson County, I think Atkinson County has a good football team. I think you're going to see them win some games this year. And without a doubt, I felt like defensively they did a great job against us. And I think it really started with their 4 guys up front whipping our 5 guys up front. Yeah. I think it started there. Plus our running backs. I don't like the way our running backs were running the ball. I think they need to hit it harder. All of our running backs, really our top 3 guys, are all nice-sized kids. You know, Andrew's over 200 pounds, and then you got Eric Daniel, who's about 185, 190 pounds, and those guys just weren't hitting it like they should. And hopefully that's got to change. They've got to run like big backs. They've got to run like football players. They can't be dancing around, stopping the hole and things like that. So that's got to change. But our passing game really got going. And again, I think I credit a lot of that to our assistant coaches really seeing opportunities in there and us relaying the information to our quarterbacks. Jimmy Nettles is still hurt. He had 51 yards in passing. He tried 6 passes, completed 2. He just couldn't get the ball where it had to go. And A.J. Bell really stepped up in the passing game. He threw for 235 yards and 4 touchdowns, which were great, fantastic numbers. He attempted 17 passes, completed 12 of them. So all those are just fantastic numbers, and you can really move the ball up and down the field with those kind of numbers. Jimmy's really, I don't know what the prognosis is for his injury. It's an elbow hand thing, and other than that, the rest of his body's just fine. And I know he's frustrated because Jimmy's a competitor. He's a winner. He's worked hard all through his career. He took a physical beating his freshman and sophomore year playing behind some bad offensive lines in B-team football, and got better, never complained, and just continued to get better every year. Then last year he won 10 games for us. Came back at the end of the game and scored winning touchdown against Clinch, scored a touchdown that could have been the tying or winning touchdown in the game against the eventual state champions, Hawkinsville. So, Jimmy being hurt right now is forcing us to look somewhere else, and somewhere else is our next quarterback, which is A.J. Bell. A.J.'s done a great job taking this thing, and he's real eager to learn, and that's one thing I'm excited about A.J. is he's eager to learn. He sees where he made mistakes Friday night. He wants to correct those mistakes. He spent a lot of time today with our quarterback coach, Barrett Wilkes, and he's asking questions from me, asking questions from him. And next Friday, I think that we're probably going to have to go with A.J. the whole game because, to be honest with you, we have to have the potential to throw the ball every down if our running game doesn't get any better. Now, what we'd like to do is be able to run it when we want to run it, pass it when we want to pass it, and be completely under control of that. But last Friday, that wasn't the case. Atkinson County took away our running game simply because they were physically whipping us up front, and our running backs weren't running very good at all. And A.J. and the receivers did a great job. And talking about the receivers, 2 guys that coming into the game only had a couple catches each in their whole careers, really, and that's Ethan Sauls. Ethan Sauls is a junior. He had 5 catches for 128 yards and a touchdown. And then Isaac Gillis, without a doubt, one of our team captains, without a doubt. Isaac Isaac Gillis had 4 catches for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. And it was really good job on their part, but it was a great job on AJ's part to see that those guys were open and being tall enough to see down the field and realize what was available to him. And he did a great job getting the ball. And of course, he had 2 throws. He had 2 throws for 49 yards to Raekwon Anderson and a touchdown, and 2 throws to Blackshear, number 7, and also AJ also caught a pass for 9 yards from Jimmy. So again, I think that our passing game, we've throughout for a long time, our passing game has been something that we've had to have, and AJ did a great job with it. And again, our receivers did a great job, but again, there's things in there we saw on film to where we had a lot of opportunities to complete a lot more passes, even probably score more through the air. This week, coming into this week, we're going in with a completely open mind. We still love to run the football. We will throw it every down if we have to. We'll run it every down if we have to. So either way that goes, we're still going to have to be prepared for either way.
All right. Hey, going back to when you were going down the stats there, Ethan Sauls, I believe it was, Ethan's number 6. That catch he made about the 10-yard line, the juggle stayed with, that's concentration. That young man, the Atkinson County player, was all over him.
It really was. It was, that was one of those passes you might say, well, might be ill-advised. The safety was over the top. He was double covered, and he probably should have went underneath a little bit with the ball. But he threw it down there, and it was great concentration, great focus by Ethan Sauls, and Ethan come up with it. And made a great play, a great catch, and got us down there. So really, like I said, the fact that we had been throwing the ball so much to Raekwon, and we really only threw it to him twice. We could have threw it, and there was opportunities to throw it to Raekwon a lot more. But we really knew that Ethan Sauls and Isaac Gillis can catch the football. They run great routes, and we really opened up that part of our passing game. Now we feel like that we have 5 people we can throw the football to anywhere. We got to be able to throw it over the top. I think really AJ's best ball right now is the deep ball, throwing it deep. But again, that's not always there. So again, we're working hard on trying to get him to go through progression, to read it from low to high, and even sometimes high to low. So and inside to outside and all that. There's a lot of different progressions when it comes to the passing game, and we're trying to get better at all of those. And I think that we will get better, and I think there's a real emphasis this week on offense for us to be able to do everything we want to do at better. Yeah. Run the ball, throw the ball, all kinds of things. So, and I do know that we're getting ready to face a team that can flat out play football, and we'll talk more about them down the road, in the show. But again, pleased with some aspects of the game, not pleased with others as far as offense.
All right, thank you, Coach. Let's see, where are we at? We're on the defensive side now. All right, sorry about that. My hearing aid is completely cut out now, so I'm totally deaf at this point. Coach, on the defensive side of the ball, we're always solid against the run. It seemed like there, especially as the game progressed, that we were fortunate with some drops by Atkinson on their deep threat.
Very much so. All you got to do, and I ain't saying nothing that nobody didn't see on film, we're struggling versus the pass. We really are. We knew coming into this year that our secondary was going to look much different than it did a year ago. We lost some seniors in the secondary, and we knew we were going to have to replace some people. We have we have Dalton Mazzell, who's a senior but didn't play a year ago. We have Blackshear, who a freshman playing at 1, and the safety we have AJ, and then also we have Raekwon, who are both freshmen, and then we're working in again Marcus Mincy, who's also a freshman. So in the secondary, we're very, very young. We have all freshmen back there with the exception of 1, so we are struggling there, and that's something Turner County does well, is throw the football. Last Friday we gave up, in the passing game, we gave up 2 touchdowns, and we gave up 229 yards throwing the football, which is just Completely unacceptable. You know, that number has to be below 100, we think, for us to be successful. We gave up that, and we've given up now on the year in the passing game. We have given up we have given up 549 yards in 3 games now, I believe it is. So that's awful. That's no good at all. Now, versus the run, we played really well. They ran the ball 24 times for a minus 14 yards. Now, don't get any better than that now. When you hold a team to no or minus yards rushing game, that's outstanding. The other thing is not outstanding. We've got to get better in the secondary. Coach David Pender, he played in the NFL at defensive back, and he knows what's going on back there, and it's frustrating him to no end. I know that, today was his wife's birthday, and she's sitting out here in the car, and I know she's ready to go for her birthday dinner, but Coach Pender was sitting out there as long as he could, staying late, working with our defensive backs and getting them right, because it's just eating at him, the fact that we're not playing better against the pass. A lot of that is our inexperience. Some of that, we're being out-athleted back there. We're going against people that have better athletes, and we'll talk about the Turner County athletes. But again, our guys up front, one of our players of the week, and I'll mention our players of the week now. Players of the week are Toby Dasher. Nobody saw what he was doing when they watched the game. But as far as a coach, when you look at the film and you see the job that Toby does at nose guard, without a doubt, he was our player of the game. He was taking on 3 guys a lot of times. They're trying to cut him, scoop him, doing everything, and he's still making plays. And also our players of the game also was Isaac Gillis and Ethan Sauls. Both those guys were players of the game for the job they did catching the football. So, and coming up with the tough catches, big catches when we need them. So really pleased with those 3 guys. A lot of guys done well, but we just don't want to just throw out players of the game just to anybody and everybody. We really expect guys to step up their game to another level, and if we feel like you can even play better, just because you played well, but if you can play better, we're holding out. There's other guys that played well, but in our mind, we tell the players, you played well, but, you're not player of the game yet because we still expect more from you. You'll know when you get player of the game. You'll know when you've reached that point to where you just did an incredible job. But our defensive front 7 played great. Our inside, our tackles for the week. Omar Lewis led us in tackles with 5.5, plus he had a sack. Again, Omar Lewis is leading the team in tackles with 18. Bryant Sloan, number 22, inside linebacker, has 17 on the year. And then Tion Burrows has 5.5. So those 3 guys right there, make up, and along with Toby at nose guard, I tell you what, we're really pretty good at those positions right there against the run. So really pleased with the job that those guys have done. And we got to get better. We've got to get better in the secondary, without a doubt. We don't get better in the secondary, we're going to give up 300 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns a game in the air, and that's just something we've got to do a better job of. And we're working hard at it, looking at things different in the scheme, maybe even looking for different players to play back there, but we got to get better at it.
Yeah. I know going into, I know we'll talk about it in the second half of the show, but everything I've read and a little bit of what I've seen, I know you've seen more than I have on Turner, that's their strength.
That is their strength.
Passing game. So we gotta buckle down back there, which I know you guys, y'all adjust to make the adjustments.
Their definite strength is going against our definite weakness. So it's a huge concern of ours.
All right, Coach. I know a few times during the game, I think you've already covered him. I know you guys, y'all see more on film with the detail than what we do up top. But it seemed like Omar Lewis had a real good game.
Omar Lewis played well, played with a lot of energy. There were some things that we felt like him and Tion could have done better. We felt like at times maybe they were, and we, in our defense, linebackers need to play linebackers. Defensive line needs to play defensive line. Sometimes you get in trouble where your D linemen start wanting to see too much. And I played defensive line for 8 years, and I'll know that there's times that you tend to want to see more than what you need to see. You need to react. You need to react off the guy you're playing against and play from there. And it got to where late in the game, those guys started wanting to see more than they needed and started playing that way. This week, they've got to play full speed, lights out for us to help us in the back end of the defense. But again, they did play well. They're good players. They're great kids and they're good football players. We have 3 guys up there. All 3 of them are seniors that are good football players.
All right, Coach. We're going to take a short break. Are there any other defensive players you would like to highlight right now before we take our break?
We talked about them, talked about Toby, talked about our linebackers. I'm really, again, pleased with the job that Bryant Sloan did. What a good football player he is. But no, defensively against the run, outstanding. Couldn't be much better. Versus the pass, couldn't be much worse. I know you see in the papers on how they grade the Jaguars on Monday. You'd have to give our run defense an A. You'd probably have to give our pass defense an F. So we need to do something about that secondary, and we're working hard at it. We're going to get it fixed somehow, some way.
All right. Well, Coach, when we come back from the break, number 14, Jimmy Nettles, will be our senior spotlight.
Okay.
We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. Coach, moving on to the second half of the show, we always talk about our senior spotlight, and this week it's number 14, Jimmy Nettles.
Jimmy Nettles, again, we talked about a little bit him in the first half. Jimmy was a guy, I can remember him playing junior high football and being real sound at what he was doing. He was also played some linebacker back in the junior high days. But he came up as a quarterback, and then when it got to B team, it was kind of like one of those things when he was a freshman. All right, who's the quarterback? Well, Jimmy is. So we put him out there. Really didn't have anyone else in his grade or even the grade behind, because our next quarterback after our senior is a sophomore. So there was actually a gap right there where we don't have a quarterback. It's always good to have a quarterback in each class. That's what you'd like to have, and so you always have experience. But Jimmy was really the only one we had to play quarterback, and our B team it can get a little ragtag sometimes out there, and sometimes they're not real sound. And you remember from your son playing B team last year, you could take some big hits out there because people will forget the block. Jimmy did that for 2 years, just paid his dues, was out there on the B team level, playing his guts out. I can remember B team games where we've come back and would win at the end of the game, and Jimmy's demeanor is so calm. And he doesn't get rattled for nothing. And I hadn't really showed up when he played B team, because I can remember us playing games where they would come back at the end. Jimmy would make a big throw for a touchdown to win the game or tie it up. And again, Jimmy's not a big guy, but he's not a small guy either. He's a very sound high school quarterback. Last year he kind of came out of nowhere. He was the guy, the next guy up kind of thing, after Trey Harrington had a great career for us. And Jimmy took the field and went on to win 10 games. And anytime you win 10 games, it's not a bad year. First time varsity starting quarterback, and you look back last year, some of the things he did, last play against Clinch, throwing a ball for a touchdown. In Hawkinsville, taking the ball down the field, throwing the football, putting it in the end zone, giving a chance for us to go ahead probably for the win on the extra point. So he's done a great job, and he's a tough guy. I've seen him take hits and get up, shake it off, never a problem. But he did take a hit on his elbow, last home game, and it, it's one of those things where it hit the funny bone. And I've talked to the doctors, and they told me that sometimes this thing could be something it can be better almost instantaneously, or it can take days or weeks for it to get better. And him throwing the football, you'll see passes that he is tremendous at throwing the pass, like say on the bubble screen. Jimmy can throw the bubble screen as well as any quarterback I've had. But Friday night you saw him throw the ball up the screen. He threw it out of bounds, threw it over Raekwon's head. So there's definitely something wrong with his grip of the ball, and he's having trouble with it. And he understands that we have got to, and he understands. And I hate it for him because I love the kid and everything he's done. He's done everything I've ever asked him to do, and it's his senior year and everything. And I hate like heck that he can't be ready to go. But he also understands that we've got to give ourselves the best chance to win. So Friday night, he won't be starting. AJ's going to get the start. Jimmy will be the backup if we need him. And but now I'm now starting to talk to the coaches about, all right, listen, Jimmy, can't grip a football, but he can do other things. So in the special teams, we need to start looking for other things for Jimmy to possibly do, because if he's a winner and he's a great player for us, we don't need him on the sidelines when he could possibly be doing something else. So again, I hate it for Jimmy, but again, the season's not over. Hopefully it'll heal up. We'll have AJ with experience. We'll have Jimmy, who's had playoff experience, and then we'll have two quarterbacks that can get the job done, and then we'll have be able to do things that, talking to coaches, I said, if we can get Jimmy healthy, what we have now is we have a situation like we had back in 1990 where you have two quarterbacks. You play both of them. Sometimes you play both of them at the same time, and you work off of each one's strengths and keep teams off balance, because we know AJ can play really good at receiver, and Jimmy, I think Jimmy might be able to even help at receiver. So right now, I hope and pray that we get Jimmy healthy and get him back going, because he is a leader, and he is a good football player, and he is a winner. And I know he's sick as can be right now, that the fact that he can't go like he wants to go. But again, Jimmy we're lucky to have him, because you think about last year coming off of Trey Harrington doing a great job leading us to play in the state championship game, and then all of a sudden it falls in Jimmy's lap. He takes it and runs with it and wins 10 games and really comes a play away from beating the eventual state champions. Yeah. So what a great year he had. But again, it's not over yet. Hopefully he'll get healthy and get back out there and compete and do the things that we know he can do. But again, Jimmy's just a great kid. Love the guy. Comes from a really great family, mom and dad, who supports our program. And hopefully we can get him back out there. Yeah,
I know Jimmy's definitely a leader on the field. I mean, playing with the injury, with the hand, whatever's going on there, and to keep coming back and playing hard. I know the kids, the players, look up to him. He's a big leader on that team.
He really is, and he's a leader through actions. He's a guy that has never missed a practice, has never missed a workout. We have a lot of kids like that, but he's a kid that the kids are confident in, and they're also confident in AJ at quarterback also. But they're confident in Jimmy. They know he's going to do the best he can do to help the team be successful. But again, it's really heartbreaking to see a senior who has done everything right have an injury and not be able to help his team like I know he can.
Oh yeah, Jimmy, you're our senior spotlight for this week. Congratulations, young man. All right, moving on to Turner County. I've gotten in the habit of checking out these social sites now. I think it's a bad habit, honestly. They're feeling pretty good, Coach. They feel like they're matching up well with maybe where we're struggling a little bit right now.
Well, they should feel well. They're 4-0. They haven't really been tested. I mean, everybody they've played good football teams and have whipped them. Telfair's a good football team, beat them good. Dooley's a good football team, beat them good. Randolph Clay, another team who's very athletic, and handled them rather easily. So the last 3 games they've only given up, I think, one game 14, the other 2 I think 6 or 7. So defensively they're playing great. Offensively, they're incredible. Number 1 wide receiver is the best receiver in the region, in my opinion. Number 4 might be the other best receiver. Both those guys definitely will probably end up the year first team all-region wide receivers. The quarterback's outstanding. The backfield's outstanding. The offensive line, tight end, you name it, all of them do a great job. They got a really good kicker, punter, kicker, everything. So they're 4-0 for a reason, because they're really good. Now, if people remember the last time we went to Turner, we got beat 38-6. So Turner County is a tough place for us to play. For some reason, I don't know if it's the distance. I I don't know what it is, but we go over there. Turner County plays great in their home field. They have great support from their fans. Coach Simmons, new head coach for him, is doing an incredible job. Him and his staff has really taken that team to the next step. There's no question they're a playoff team. I think they're a team that has a chance to win this region. I think they're a team that could find themselves playing in the Georgia Dome. I think they're that good. They have those kind of weapons. There's no question this football team is outstanding. Their strength on offense is throwing the football. Now, they run the ball real well, but they're tremendous at throwing the football. They'll run screens. They'll throw the ball vertical. They can do anything, throw it anywhere. Our weakness, and Charlton County, to my knowledge, and since I've been here for the last 26 years as head coach, we've never struggled this much defending the pass. So their strength against our weakness, it could be tough for us. We're going to have to get pressure on the quarterback. We've got to
disrupt his timing.
We've got to do everything we can do to try to stop the pass, but yet we cannot at all let up on the run. They're outstanding there. Defensively, I think we're going to see a lot of what we saw last week. I think we may see an even front. I know their defensive coaches do a great job, and they're very knowledgeable. Every week we get ready for what we see, but we also get ready for what we don't see. We also get ready, well, what if we get this? What if we get that? So we're prepared for any kind of defensive front we may see. We're prepared for any kind of pass we may see, a blitz to where we can pass off the blitz or even run off the blitz like we want to. So we're ready for anything. Again, I think that they have the advantage in the passing game. I think they may have the advantage in the defensive secondary. Their defensive secondary is outstanding. I think the defensive fronts, both of their defensive fronts, outstanding. I think our defensive front's pretty good. I think they got an advantage in the kicking game. We don't kick the ball well right now. Tomcat's hurt. He can kick extra points, but he's struggling with field goals with his leg. Punting the ball, we punted last week. We had our third or fourth different punter this year. Last week we did punt the ball 5 times. I think that's right. No, we punted the ball twice for an average of 32 yards, which could be worse, but it's not as good as we want. So again, this game, you take Turner, you take Charlton. I think that they may be the favorite in this thing. And I told the players, I said, we have got to play hard. We've got to play our best. But don't be shocked at the end of the game you just got beat. And if you get beat, it's going to be because they're better than you. And they very well may be better than us. So we've got to play a great football game. And again, I think they've done a great job coaching. I think the kids are doing a great job playing. I think there's a lot of support over there for the coaching staff and for their players. They're having a great year. They're off to a great first half of the season. And again, they're a team that you may find playing for the region championship, and they may play for more than that. They're an excellent football team, and we have never played Turner County where it hasn't been a war. It's always been a tough, hard-fought game. And again, I can't get out of my mind the vision of last year not last year, but 2 years ago, going over there. I think it was 2012, and getting beat 38-6 on their field. I think about that all the time. Their kids just flat out whipped our kids. They were tougher than us, and that very well could be the case this time. So we've got to be ready. We've got to be ready for them.
I believe you just mentioned about a few years back we went over there and were surprised, to say the least, by that outcome. But these Jimmy and these other boys were here then. Yeah. So that leadership and that experience, I don't think they're going to go in here they're going to let these underclassmen know you can't take these guys lightly.
I think the feeling that I got today at practice, our first practice, our kids are already starting to get focused a little bit. They understand how good these guys are. We had an opportunity to go through our film with the team, and then we went ahead and put on the Turner film, and our kids' eyes were wide open when they saw the athleticism of these guys. Our kids are, there's no question, just hearing our kids talk at practice and getting ready to go out for practice, and then after practice when the seniors address the team, I can overhear them saying, listen, this is the best football team we've went against yet. This is a better team than Bacon. This is a better team than Atco and Manchester. This is an outstanding football team right here. This is going to be by far the best team we face to this point is Turner County, and our kids do know that this team is good enough to beat us. They're better than us in a lot of aspects. So we've got to be ready, and also our kids have got to be ready to get ready for the long haul, because not only you have this, then right after this you got an undefeated Irwin County team coming in. So this is the meat of the schedule. This is why you play spring football. This is why you work out in the summer and you run and condition and lift weights. This is why you do all that, is to get ready for this time of the year. The meat of the schedule, region schedule, playing teams that are very well on paper, maybe better than you. So we've got to be ready.
We need all of Charlton to just think of it as a home game. Make that trip, 2.5 hours?
It's
like that.
Yeah, and you're
pack our side.
If you're a fan of Charlton County, 2.5 hours is nothing. As we make a lot of trips like that. The directions, I think everybody knows how to get there, but I'll send you guys the directions, and if you want to post them. But again, I don't think it's an easy place to get to. It's 4-lane the entire way till about 2 blocks from the school. So hopefully we'll have a big crowd there. I know our band will win. They're undefeated. They've been undefeated since I've been here. So I think the band will be ready, our cheerleaders will be ready, hopefully our players are ready, and hopefully have a big lot of support from the crowd, and we go over there and we play well. I told our kids, I said, listen, you guys have been beat before, I've been beat before. Anybody who's ever competed has been beat. I said, but don't ever get beat not doing your very best. So I told our kids, I said, listen, I said, how I feel about you and how I believe in you will not change in the outcome of this football game. What I got to do is I got to make sure you understand that for you to live with this, whatever may happen, you got to play your very, very best. And that's all we want, is just you play your very best and go over there and just give it all you got. And if they're better than you, chances are they'll beat you. But if not, then we have a chance for a favorable outcome. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited for it because this is the kind of games that this is why you do this right here, to play a team that's as good as you, if not better than you, and compete against them.
I know the atmosphere we bring to, what do we carry? Eight buses?
Well, the football team 3, and then the band, I think they take the rest of them, and the cheerleaders. When we need a lot of room to park. It looks like we're a big old school whenever we pull in, because I think our band uses 4 or 5, and we do carry a lot of folks, and I know we have a lot of people that will make the trip to Ashburn, and we look forward to that. Big game atmosphere. It is a big game. It's a game that has a lot on stake for it. The winner of this game is really in great shape and holds their own destiny as far as win the region championship. Yeah, we both still have to play Irwin. Irwin's a great team. Clinch is a great team. Telfair is a good football team. Wilcox has athletes. So there's a lot to be still played in this region. A win will keep you in great shape. A loss, you'll be playing from behind a little bit, but you still have a chance to do great things. Again, we haven't won the region title since 2009, but we have played for state championship we've won state championships without win the region, and we played for a state championship without winning the region. So, but still, it's a big game. It's a big football game against a great team, well-coached team, and look forward to it.
All right, Coach. The Friday night we are carrying the game live for those that cannot make the trip. But gas prices are down. It's like $2 a gallon up there. Everybody fill up, make the trip. Let's pack the place out. And kickoff 7:30.
7:30, Ashburn, Georgia.
B-Team Braves?
Braves play tomorrow in Yulee, Tuesday in Yulee. B-Team, we have a big B-Team game here at home against Baker County. They're coming up here. It starts at 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock, you want to see some good JV football. And we have, like I said, we've talked a lot about our freshmen. We have a lot of freshmen playing varsity. But also, we have some other good freshmen, sophomores that are playing JV, and hopefully we'll have a big crowd out here this Thursday, 6 o'clock, for the JV game against Baker County.
All right. Well, Coach, we'll see you at the B team game, and then obviously again Friday night. Thank you for watching the Coach Mack Show. Please shop local and thank our sponsors. We couldn't do all this without those folks.